it's me again. Yes, I'm back to life, I'm back to reality. COVID has gone out my system. I've still not got 100% energy, but I feel back to normal in some respects anyway. Back to life, back to reality. So yeah, today I just thought I'd take a look back at the Gamecube. What I'm going to do today is talk about Nintendo Gamecube. I'm going to reminisce about Nintendo Gamecube. I'm going to talk about my favourite games of Nintendo. We're just going to talk about Gamecube. Do you know why? Because it turned 20. The Nintendo Gamecube turned 20 years old last week. Happy birthday to ya. Wow, 20 years. When I think of 20 years on Nintendo consoles, my head automatically goes back to NES, SNES, Game Boy. But it's not. 20 years ago it was the Gamecube and the bloody DS. Game Boy Advance. The Nintendo Gamecube was Nintendo's 6th generation console. Gamecube ended up launching in 2001, September 14th in Japan. It launched November 18th, 2001 in North America. And in 2002, May in the UK, a year after the PlayStation 2. Talk about late to the party, Nintendo. But I don't care. Launched in the UK for $129.99. Absolute bargain, mate. Was it that cheap? Bloody hell. $129.99? Is that how much it was? I didn't even remember that. Oh my days. Anyway. Nintendo used to do their own E3 in it was called, what was it called? Nintendo Spaceworld. It was set in Tokyo. It was after E3 every year, and that's where Nintendo would decide to show off their goods. I will never forget before the Gamecube had launched, and I just remember Spaceworld 2000. Spaceworld 2000. So back in the day of the console wars, Sony, Microsoft and Nintendo, to be fair, were all trying to outdo each other by touting that they had the most powerful games machine on the market. Sony tried it by saying that the PS2 could actually push 66 million polygons a second. Talking about the potential of their emotion engine and what benefits it will bring to the next generation.
The new console also makes it possible for characters to express emotion. I've dreamed of this for 20 years.
Microsoft then chimed in, trying to give it Larry Large, talking about their console, the Xbox, could push 300 million polygons per second. Like, really? Really? And all these outlandish claims were going on.
In fact, what you're seeing here is the final Xbox, except for a couple of those chips that are so state-of-the-art that they'll only be done right as we finish the manufacturing, so we'll plug those chips in.
Nintendo was coming out with, oh, we can get 6 to 12 million polygons per second. Obviously, everyone was laughing at Nintendo. Oh, it's going to be a weak console. Oh, it's going to be rubbish again like the N64. Anyway, we get to August 2000 and Nintendo shows us the first footage of the Nintendo Gamecube. Oh my god. I remember watching this, I don't know, it was some demo and they were showing how they could render Pokemon on the Gamecube. Don't get me wrong, we'd seen Pokemon in 3D before, but the first time that I saw this Pokemon tech demo, I remember seeing all the Pokemons just so animated and lively. The graphics were vibrant. Meowth, he had the guitar and he was just strumming on the stage and it looked sick. Mario 128. This was just to show gamers how powerful the Gamecube was. So the demo was a round circle board. Mario gets dropped onto the board. More and more Mario just keep dropping. And there was never no slowdown. And the graphics looked really nice. But I was gassed because Mario looked nice. I'd never seen Mario look so great before. They shown off. I remember they shown off a tech demo for Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark on the Gamecube. I'm gutted. Perfect Dark. Yeah. It was there. It was right there on the Gamecube. Oh! I remember Spaceworld is where we also got the bloody Legend of Zelda realistic demo. Do you remember that? They've shown us Metroid in 3D for the first time ever. After skipping the whole entire N64 generation, not a sniff of that franchise on the N64. No Samus, no Metroid at all. To see it fully rendered. Nintendo came to Spaceworld 2000 swinging, mate. And I was excited. The games were coming. Hurry up and launch. Hurry up and come out now. Now it's 2001, yeah, E3 is round the corner. Nintendo come out all guns blazing at E3. Then out the console, Miyamoto pulled it out on stage, just whipped it out kind of out of his jacket pocket, proving just how small and tiny it was. But yeah, I mean, that console design, man, it is a bit weird, I'm not gonna lie. The handle at the back, what is that about? I don't know. Nintendo said that they wanted the console to be portable, and they thought that if there was a handle on the back of the controller, people would pick it up and take it to the friend's house. Really? Absolutely not. From when Nintendo announced Smash Bros. At E3, it was game over. My heart was the Gamecube. Oh my days! That reveal, that Smash reveal is one of my favourite, most hypest E3 moments of all time. I remember it to this day and I'm getting warm thinking about it. Like, oh my days, it looked sick. When they finally shown us the full gameplay reveal for Luigi's Mansion, I was stunned. My jaw was on the floor. This looked like Pixar, like top-notch animation. It looked like a cartoon. Best launch title ever. That or Star Wars Rogue Squadron. Has there been a better launch title than Star Wars Rogue Squadron or Luigi's Mansion on any console? So E3's been and gone, and all I have to do now is just count down the days, the minutes, the hours until the Gamecube launches. I remember seeing some of the adverts for the Gamecube just before they launched on TV. I mean, I remember at the time buzzing at the fact that Nintendo were actually getting involved in the marketing game. Nintendo didn't have any kind of marketing infrastructure back in early 2090s in the UK. Especially, I'll tell you that for free. So it was cool to see like Nintendo adverts on the TV, but they were just weird. It was like, do you remember the advert for the Gamecube? It was just like loads of people doing this in a square, and I was like, what's this got to do with Nintendo? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I remember seeing posters everywhere of like cubes, and then like you'd see some kind of representation of the game in a cube, and it was this really weird, bizarre marketing. Oh, I do remember the Metroid Prime advert though, and it was live action. Oh, I remember that advert. That was a good advert. I remember that advert.
Only one thing is alive and well here. Evil. And it must be destroyed, decimated, exterminated.
That was a good advert that Nintendo did, but that didn't come till later on. My excitement for the thing is fever pitch.
The latest video game war is heating up tonight. Nintendo's Gamecube system is about to hit the stores, but some lucky people are already playing the games.
Where is the Gamecube? Bring out the Gamecube. I want it now. I want it now. Oh my days, I was so hyped. I was so hyped. It was such a good time to be alive.
We're just waiting for the Gamecube to come out.
The GameCube ended up selling 21.74 million units worldwide, which was, to be fair, their lowest selling console ever. Until the Wii U. This system only sold a total 208 million software units over the course of its lifespan. The GameCube is home to some of these most incredible games of all time. Yeah, I mean, the GameCube just, it flopped. It flopped. I'm so glad that the GameCube flopped because for me, I'm gonna be honest, it's my favourite Nintendo console. It's a toss-up between that and the SNES. The GameCube was absolutely fantastic. There's a lot of things that I love about the GameCube, and I give you a few reasons why this is one of my favourite consoles of all time.
You've been hit by a smooth criminal.
Let's talk about the Game Boy Advance connectivity, because let me tell you, that was absolute Nintendo at its best and most expensive, to be honest. Let me explain. One of the cool things about the GameCube is that you could get a Game Boy Advance and you could just plug it into the GameCube and use it as an extra controller to play games. I don't even know how I afforded the setup. Anyway, it's effectively the prototype for the bloody Wii U. Let's go back to E3 2003, because one of the things I remember, Nintendo were getting beat up by the other console manufacturers. They were getting done in by Xbox, they were getting done in by Sony. They were selling the least amount of units, consoles worldwide, and they just didn't have that third-party support. I remember E3 2003, and I was pumped, I was hyped, I was ready to see these new exclusive games. I was ready to see Nintendo come out the gate swinging with some games, some banging software. And I remember watching it, and Nintendo unveiled Pac Man Versus. That was Nintendo's big game of E3, Pac Man.
Okay, let's go, guys. I gotta win this.
I was fuming. I'm sure they spent like 10-15 minutes on Pac Man. That's a long time.
Got me. Yeah, right. George, come on, George. You gotta say more in English, otherwise people don't know how much fun we're having.
Here he comes.
Where is he? Wow, this is incredible. Looks like George caught him. So now what we do is George trades his controller for the Game Boy Advance to play Pac-Man in the next round.
It's a long time. Anyway, when Game Boy Advance connectivity was announced, I wasn't really that hyped for it, because for me, it wasn't what Nintendo needed at that time. Nintendo needed big, heavy-duty titles, and Pac-Man Versus just was not it. It was not it. One of the other things that I loved about the Nintendo GameCube, and this is, again, Nintendo always innovating at every single turn. Nintendo always stepping up a bit, always leading the pack, do you know what I mean? Nintendo invented the Wavebird. Car!
Nothing comes between a man and his game. Play from far away with Wavebird wireless controller, new for Nintendo GameCube.
The Wavebird, oh my days, I had two of them, and now I can't even find, I've got one, I need to find it. The Wavebird was a game changer back in the day when it came out. I mean, don't get me wrong, wireless controllers were about at this time. You could get wireless controllers, third-party wireless controllers for the PlayStation 2, for the Xbox. They existed, don't get me wrong. But they were infrared. As soon as somebody would walk in front of the receiver and the controller, the pack would cut out, man. So there was no real nice, good alternative options up until Nintendo brought out the Wavebird, Bluetooth connection, hello, 32 channels. Technically you could connect 32 Wavebirds up via LAN, and a bloody 32 player game of Mario Kart. You couldn't play 32 players Mario Kart, it was on a 16 player. The point being is that Nintendo released a wireless controller that was reliable, durable, sturdy, no lag, consistent connection, you get me? That didn't exist before. Nintendo did that. Nintendo pioneered that. every console after that then came with a wireless controller. Because they were like, nah, Sony and Microsoft were like, nah, have you seen that Wavebird? No. We need to make sure that we've got our own Wavebird in the box when our next console comes out. Another thing that I loved about the Gamecube, real quick, is the absolutely stunning, gorgeous Panasonic Q Nintendo Gamecube system that never came out in Europe because Japan always get everything. Now, Nintendo released this, well, they didn't release it, they collaborated with Panasonic to make a Gamecube that was capable of playing DVDs because Nintendo were just so focused on the original model, just playing games, just wanted to make a games machine. Nintendo just wanted to make a games machine. They didn't want it to have all these fancy extras, they didn't want to have no hard drive like the Xbox. Who needs a hard drive? Nintendo, everybody needs a hard drive. They didn't want no DVD play capability like the PlayStation 2. They wanted this system to just play games. I mean, sometimes Nintendo are so stubborn. Like, come on, Nintendo, sort it out. Give us a little bit of technological panache. I always wanted this console. I remember seeing it announced, knowing it would never come out into Europe. Then I think they must have sold like 100,000 units and then decided to take it off the market. Lasted about 2 years. You can't get one now. Another thing I love about the Gamecube is that it was just a bloody crazy generation. What was going on? Developers coming in, out, left, right, shaking all about. Square Enix came back. Square Enix were gone. They got off throughout the whole 64 generation. Square decided never to develop games again for Nintendo because they had a little beef with the president of Nintendo at that time, Mr. Hiroshi Yamauchi. They were putting off 4-disc sagas over on the PlayStation 1 with Final Fantasy VII. Their games wouldn't fit on the cartridge. And then they came back, Gamecube generation, what the hell was going on? Sonic ended up on Nintendo systems. What was that about? I mean, after growing up in the 90s and seeing all the bloody console wars between Sega and Nintendo, Sega do what Nintendo don't and all that, those bloody smear campaigns.
Monaco GP free or columns free. What Nintendo?
It was a smear campaign. They were doing smear campaigns on each other. Sega and Nintendo, that rivalry was just electric, do you know what I mean? Pick a side, pick a corner.
Check this out, brand new 16-bit Super Nintendo with Super Mario World. Wow!
What's this one?
Oh, this is Sonic the Hedgehog from Sega Genesis. Hey, look at these radical colors, huh?
Wow, Sonic's fast too.
No, over here.
It was a battle, it was a war of the worlds. It's Mario versus Sonic. Wow. And the next minute, bloody Sonic's on bloody Gamecube. Sonic Adventure.
There is Supersonic Hedgehog Combat in the Nintendo Gamecube, so give me everything you got. Give it to me. Go. No. Hey, where are you going? Get back here.
The right hedgehog is hard to find. Sonic, only on Nintendo Gamecube. Rated E for everyone.
What? What was going on? My head was gone. I didn't know what was going on, to be honest. It was mental. We're leaving Nintendo, do you know what I mean? We were just about to get the Perfect Dark sequel on the Gamecube. We were just about to get Donkey Kong Country Racing. They're doing brand new things with the Donkey Kong IP. A sequel to Diddy Kong Racing on the N64. We were going to get that on the Gamecube. It didn't happen. Nintendo needed Rare that generation. Do you know what I mean? Hands down, Nintendo needed Rare. Nintendo would have done a lot better in that generation if they had Rare. But they'd gone. It still burns till this day. It's a lot to deal with. There was a lot of games that supported Game Boy Advance, GameCube Link Up. You could connect your Game Boy Advance and connect it to Wind Waker and summon Tingle and use your Game Boy Advance as a Tingle tuner to find rupees and stuff on the maps. I mean, I hate Tingle, to be honest, so I never summoned them. You then also had the asymmetrical games and the Pac Man's, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, the Return of Square Enix, oh my god, Legend of Zelda 4 Swords, oh my god, the birth of the 4 Swords, I can't even speak. I remember the first time playing 4 Swords. I had 4 Game Boy Advances, I had 4 Link-Up cables, I had 2 Game Boy Advances and 2 Game Boy Advance SPs actually, 4 Link-Up cables, and the Gamecube, and me and my friends, we just battered it. Four-player co-op local shoulder to shoulder asymmetrical gaming. It was so sick. You could connect your Game Boy Advance to the Sonic games and unlock mini-games, WarioWare. Sure, you could take it away with you and play the game when it was plugged out of the Gamecube. I'm sure you could. Nintendo utilised that a lot in a lot of different ways, and a lot of third-party developers also use that feature. I mean, the Game Boy Advance connectivity was absolutely ahead of its time, and if you look at it now, it was the early stages of dual screen gaming which led to the DS. It was the prototype for the Wii U with the asymmetrical gameplay going on with the 2 dual screens also, and then obviously the Wii U led to the Switch. So the Gamecube, the Game Boy Advance connectivity has done a lot for Nintendo, and they've carried that main concept and they've carried it through every single generation, and here we are now. It's definitely one of the best experiences I've had in gaming. Hello, thanks for tuning in guys. If you like my video today, don't forget to give me a like. If you really like the video, then just subscribe. Yeah, just subscribe. There's a little button there, you just push it. You get a little notification every time a video comes out. Boop, boop. Subscribe! Subscribe!